we tried to find our own little slice of cake of story and all that.
Yeah.
And when we put on the outfits in the beginning, our outfits used to be almost like half the stuff that we have on now. And over time, we kept like adapting and putting on new stuff and making new stories out of it.
Is this thing on? Hi, I'm Dr. Vincent, and these are my patients.
Let's go! 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 Take me by the scene. It's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
It's nice to see you, mate.
I mean, you say that, but, 5 days from now, you're going to be like, I've seen way too much of you.
Well, I tell you what, it's quite an interesting dynamic because when we go to these chalk festivals, you're definitely like the boss. You know what I mean? Because like it's your whole thing, you know everyone, and we're working on your art. But I quite like it. I'm one of these people who doesn't mind getting told what to do.
It's not. I mean, I'm sure I have to believe that it's nice to, because I know it is for me sometimes. It's nice to just sit back and just take direction and do something and not have to be in charge of something for a change, So.
No, it's totally true. And I saw the design of the thing that we're going to do on the road. Are we allowed to say what it is yet?
No.
Oh, wicked. I love that. That's pretty cool.
It's top secret.
Yeah, nice one. It's really cool. And it's definitely a step up from what we've done before. So I'm very proud of it.
For those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, Kill Billy's was on the first half of our tour. It was in the Midwest. We went to Minneapolis, ended up in Maple Grove.
Yeah.
Played a couple of shows. And then I did my chalk art there. And James and Ben stepped in and rounded out the team. It was fun. It was really fun.
That was James's third and my second. So before long, we're going to be seasoned chalk.
Right. Well, what I mentioned, I think I mentioned it to you guys earlier this week is, you guys have somehow, through me, you've somehow like stepped into the professional chalk art world because we are heading out to the second half of our tour now. Again, it's tied into a chalk festival. We're going to be playing some shows, doing some chalk art and stuff. And at this festival, it's 10 artists, and that's it. Like 10 artists out of hundreds of applications or whatever. And somehow you guys are chalking with me. So
yeah, well, it's an honor. I mean, I'm very grateful. It's an honor. I don't take it lightly, and we'll definitely do the best we can for you, man.
It'll be fun, man. It'll be fun.
And so we're playing at it as well. That's part of the reason the reason James and I are going, first and foremost, is so we can play that festival, but then also it works out like awesome that we get to help you as well. And it is a real learning experience and just something I didn't expect to see myself doing.
Well, I mean, it's fun. It's fun for me because I have these two separate worlds. I have my music world and I have my art world, and I'm kind of blending them together now. And you guys are becoming friends with them. They're becoming friends with you. I mean, it's getting to where they're asking me, like, are you coming to this festival? Yeah. Are Ben and James coming? Yeah, they're coming. But it's cool. I'm blending my two worlds and stuff. But it's also nice to be able to like, one of the organizers was asking me yesterday when I gave him the size we were doing. He kind of balked a little bit and was like, it might rain a little bit on Saturday, so you're gonna be short on time. And I said, oh, that's fine. I got help. It's fine. It's fine. So
no, it does mean you get to do large pieces, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing about it is that when we're going places like the northern Midwest like that, it's if we'd just gone there on our own, we may have played to a bar of like 20 people, but like because we're doing this festival, we get to actually play to like a load of people. It's somewhere we've never been, which is really cool.
Yeah. So the last one we played at the actual festival on a stage on the street there where the festival was happening, and there was tons of people there. This one the stage is like a park that's adjacent to the festival. It's right next to it, but they do like a Saturday concert series in the summer, and so we kind of became part of that. And so we're going to play we're going to play at the concert thing on Saturday.
I don't know if I didn't tell you, but I don't know if he called you first, but I spoke to the guy so he knows what we're doing now. I
Oh,
explained.
the sound guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave them all the information and everything
Yeah.
for your contact and stuff in
Yeah.
case they wanted all the stage plot and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
so
he
glad
gave
you
me a
reached
call,
out.
and he sounds like a nice guy.
Awesome.
I think we're going to have fun.
Awesome.
So this weekend we played at Taco Tiki, which we haven't played there in a while, and it's always rowdy in there. Like they have
It was crazy
They just love
Friday.
to dance in there.
It was crazy.
Oh man, should we tell the story of what happened?
It was a lot of stuff that happened. First, someone vandalized one of their two bathrooms,
Like really badly.
really badly, like broke stuff and everything, and then locked the door and left it locked so that nobody would know what happened.
They had this giant mirror that like, smashed the
Yeah.
mirror, and they were
And
like,
everything. And then they finally got the door unlocked, thought somebody was like in there or something. They got the door unlocked and realized that it was locked because the guy had vandalized and unlocked the door. And then shortly later, someone's car got stolen out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then the cops came to the venue because the guy crashed the car 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
And they caught the guy. And it was the guy that vandalized the bathroom.
I mean, he was on just an insane tear. You know,
Well-
I didn't tell you either, but the whole front of my car was covered in this weird white stuff. When I got home, I didn't know what it was, and
That the parking lot's got all that shell rock and stuff.
Oh, you think that's
all,
what it
yeah,
was?
That's all it's construction and dust and stuff.
okay.
But they had the other thing is, and I don't even know if you knew this part of the story, but like while the cops were there, 3 dudes in the back of the place started a fight.
Oh my word!
Yeah, started a fist fight. So yeah, it was
this
crazy,
is
man.
very out of character for Taco Tiki. Taco
That
Tiki is
character for Killbilly shows. Man.
yeah, it's not like a. It's
We don't
definitely
exactly
not
get mosh pits.
Totally. I'm definitely not trying to scare anyone away from the place. Taco Tiki is a super chill place. The
Yeah.
food's great. Just happened to have this really weird night.
yeah.
And then what else did we do? So we played the
Saturday.
the Gardens Grill. Oh no, Saturday
Saturday with the shake and bake.
Shake and Bake. Now that gig, mate, it was a little bit of an eye opener for me. We played with algorithms, and that was definitely, this is the second gig we've ever done, and when we played, I was like, okay, algorithm's going to be fine. Like, did I get every single thing right? No, but the energy behind it and just the feeling of playing it, I was like, okay, I can do this.
Well, it was a fun day, man, because you got to play with algorithms. I got to play with Euphoria.
Yeah,
and then both of
we were sick.
And then both of us, yeah, it was fun, man. We played really well that day. I was happy with it. And then the two of us played Nina's Yard Party. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
And Nina's Yard Party was
It was
good
nice to go out and play a bunch of music. And as much as I love Killbillies, it was nice to do something different that
Yeah.
day. It's always nice to break it up a little bit.
No, absolutely.
And we raised. I can't give you official numbers because I don't know if Ricky's released them yet, so I don't want to be that guy. But we raised a ton of meals for Palm Beach County Food Bank, so I'm very proud of the event.
What is that in beans?
That it's a lot of beans, a lot of beans.
That is so cool.
And then Sunday we played at Gardens Green Market, which is always fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was. I've got to learn to behave myself over there. I don't know what it is with me. I seem to get like mischievous when I get there.
Oh, you get like flustered or something.
yeah,
I don't know what it is.
But we had a good time, and they're really, really good to us, and we love playing there. Anything else we want to talk about before we?
No,
Get cracking?
just recently we had Kim from Stage Mom podcast on here.
Yeah.
And I told her straight up I was going to start stealing all her guests. So
Yeah.
without further ado, Medicine Room.
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
Sorry, Kim.
So we have Brian, Vinny, Laz, and Sebastian from Medicine Room, and I guess the first thing we can kick off with is how did you guys decide to become a band? And one of you guys kind of tell us about that.
You want to go ahead, Vinny?
Yeah, so back in, I would say middle school, because in 2014 I was in like 6th grade or some sort of that, right? And then I always had this dream that I wanted to be a musician, and I wanted to find like my best friends that wanted to do it with me. But it was never like something I jumped on. And then I met Laz when I got in 6th grade, and then we just started hanging out on Spam every day, and we shared each other's music. We're like, oh shit, we both like this band, we like this band, we like that band.
I would say if you did it in 6th grade, you absolutely did jump on it.
Fair enough, yeah. So after we, shared bands, we were like, okay, like what if we did like a band thing, right? Like what would happen? And then eventually we were just like, okay, I would do drums, he would do singing and guitar, but we would still need a bassist.
Were you guys actually playing instruments at the time, or did you just decide on a whim, I'm going to play drums?
It was more, well, I have like influence of music, but like I at that point I wasn't playing.
Okay.
I wasn't playing any
You weren't
instruments.
actively
Yeah,
playing.
no. I just had like, okay, what if, right? And
As soon as we decided we were gonna do it, though, I went on Amazon and I bought one of those $100 kits off of Amazon, the
Sweet.
guitar with the amp and all that, and I had the button on the amp with
Hell
the
yeah.
overdrive.
The one where you get like the little Fender amp and like all of it. Yeah.
Little
Like,
10 watt,
yeah.
barely a 10 watt, and
Yeah.
I told Seb, because we were boys already since 3rd grade. I told him, bro, you got to pick up the bass. And he went ahead and he bought his $100 kit off of Amazon for bass, and that we started
very
learning
cool.
from there.
Yeah.
This is like the band equivalent of like high school people that end up getting married, you know, when they get but it is super cool. And I was just the same as you guys when I was young. But when I went to school, I knew I wanted to do it from a very young age. I used to play with it would be like if me and my brothers still played music together, which makes me a little sad, actually. Maybe one day we'll start doing that again. But yeah, it was the same deal, man. I jumped on it right from as soon as I was like, 11, 12, starting to get into rock. I was like, all right, we got to do this. So fair play to you, man. I'm glad that you kicked it off so early. And then...
I didn't even meet these guys until like recently.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
About like 3 years ago.
When did you meet them?
3 years ago at their first show. And it was the craziest way that I met them. His brother, me and him, we were working at Jiffy Lube, oil changing place. And out of everybody, he came up to me. He was like, oh, bro, my brother, he has a show today. It's his first show. He started showing me their music. They had one song out, Floods.
Yeah.
Greatest fucking song.
Yeah.
I love that song, bro. And I was like, bro, I'm hooked. This is something I've never heard before. So, yes, I'll go. I went.
Yeah.
These guys were there. They were in their fits. He was in his gown. He was in his...
Yeah, you got to tell us all
Dr.
about that in a
Coe.
minute. But that's amazing. So, and you already played guitar at that point?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I started playing around 2014.
Okay.
So,
Nice one.
so if you weren't in until just recently, Laz, you were playing guitar up until this point?
Yeah, I was doing the vocals and the guitar at the same time, which was rough for me.
Okay.
It can be tough, yeah, especially in like metal,
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's awesome though. So when, Brian, how long had you been like playing metal before this? Was metal your thing?
Yeah, my brother got me into like Metallica, System of a Down, and I just got hooked. I started playing. He taught me. And then after that, like at some point, I started teaching myself. And yeah, I met these guys. I told them, hey, I play guitar after like their whole show. And then they brought me right on to like the next rehearsal.
Oh, fantastic.
And we
guys-
clicked after that.
Did you guys even hesitate? I mean, because sometimes
I told them-
people come up to us all the time. They're like, "Hey, so I play I play fiddle. I can fit right into your band." And we're like, "Yeah, okay, sure, no problem."
At first, we were all hesitant, like a little bit, because you don't know, like we just met and stuff. But
Yeah.
like we definitely wanted this to work, and he was already like mingling with our friends so well, and like he just felt like a piece of the puzzle that connected. So when like he came prepared and he learned all the songs, and it was just going with a flow. It was too perfect.
I remember the first month, like I went over to his house, spam almost every day,
Yeah.
trying to learn these
Preparations.
songs. And when we started playing, we started jamming, these guys were like, what the fuck?
yeah,
How the fuck did
it
you
was
do this?
super trippy seeing him like know all the songs. I was expecting us to pull up to the first, me, him not know anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do
so
a
this is what the
classic
first
me when I come to a first rehearsal and like don't know a single thing. Yeah, I got you.
exactly starts playing one of our originals. We're like, hey yo, where did this come from? Like
That is pro behavior. That is awesome.
Yeah,
Respect.
yeah. That shows though that he respected and liked the music enough to like, I want to be a part of this, so I'm going to work hard to like get in there.
Yeah, and in middle school, I never had like friends that were into like this type of music. Having a band would have been nice. I never got the chance until I met these guys.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a dream, but I'm
Yeah.
living it with like family.
Yeah.
They turned into a family, bro.
That's
But
beautiful.
dude, I absolutely love that you just said that too, because like that's one of our biggest things that we try to push all the time is, it's one thing to be in a band with good musicians. It's a whole nother experience and a whole nother level to be in a band with people that you feel like that about, family,
Yeah.
friends, whatever. it just brings you to a whole new level. You know, it does.
Yeah,
It just
100%.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like meant to be, because my brother worked at Jiffy Lube for like 1 month,
Yeah,
and he would
literally.
never work at Jiffy Lube. Like, he hated Jiffy Lube until like around that time.
Yeah.
He decided, okay, fuck it, I'll work for Jiffy Lube. And then in the 1 month that he was there, Brian came to be. He's been family for 3 years already.
That's
bro.
awesome.
It felt like forever. It literally felt like forever.
So, you got we never really brought it up, but you guys are a metal band, like a new metal band. Who was some of your influences?
I would say all of us, we can agree on System of a Down,
Yeah.
Slipknot, Static Egg,
Mudvayne.
Mudvayne.
Deftones.
Yeah, like all of them have like a little piece of influence that kind of merged from each one of those bands.
Well, this type of metal was the metal that was out when I was, from 13 to 16, 17. This was the stuff that was out when I was first getting into metal. So I know a lot of it real well. And listening to, listening to you guys' records, it sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds kick-ass and it's groovy. One of the things that I'm not into in metal is when it doesn't groove. Like when it doesn't have like it doesn't bump like at all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your guys' stuff does, It's like you can bang your head to it, you can move to it, which I think is super important. I mean, I understand why people would make metal that doesn't do that and where it's just more, technical and stuff. But it just draws me right in when when metal's got a groove to it, and you can definitely say that yours does, which is awesome.
We just try to have fun, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just whatever comes to mind at the meet.
Makes us dance.
Yeah.
Well, and it shows at your live shows. You guys made a comment earlier, and for those that are watching and that don't know you guys, let's talk a little bit about your stage presence and your stage show, because that's a whole nother that brings, in my book, like, you guys are all great musicians and the music sounds good, the recordings sound good, and we'll get into that in a second as well. But having a stage presence or a stage show, and you're not just standing there and playing the music and looking like a bunch of sticks on stage or whatever, like, that brings it to a whole nother level of professionalism and just fun to watch. So explain your stage show a little bit, because I know what I saw when I saw you guys at Revolutions. I want you guys to talk about it a little bit.
We put in a lot of theatrics into our shows. Like, we took the heart of what we like to see already live. Like, Mudvayne does a bunch of these theatrics. Rammstein does a bunch of these theatrics, all that.
Slipknot. All
We
this.
tried to find our own little slice of cake of story and all that.
Yeah.
And when we put on the outfits in the beginning, our outfits used to be almost like half the stuff that we have on now. And over time, we kept like adapting and putting on new stuff and making new stories out of it. We've had these breaking the third wall or the fourth wall?
Fourth wall.
Fourth wall. We've had this breaking the fourth wall moment where we'll have these guys having kidnapped me, that I'm the patient. I'm the patient. He's the doctor. He's in a hazmat suit and he's the surgeon/nurse. They'll have me captured in a van and like injecting me with stuff. They knock me out. I escape from the van, and then they're chasing me down Miami, chasing me down until we get to the venue eventually. And this is all being shown, imagine, in a show on a screen.
Right.
And
before you guys even come
before
up
we
on
get in there,
stage,
so all that's happening, and then I open in the screen the door to the back of the venue, and then I open it in real life, and then I'm running in there, and they're trying to get me, and they put me up on the stage and they have me play. And when you do stuff like that, it really captivates the audience and puts them into like an experience. It's almost like a
100%.
It's a show. It's a show.
That is like, the fact that you guys are from Miami and you do stuff like that is no coincidence. You're from like a big metropolis where there's like a lot of smart people, a lot of ideas, and just a cosmopolitan creative atmosphere, and that kind of thing is just awesome. And that's one of the reasons why it's great to be part of a big city, because it's just, I don't know, you end up talking to more people about creative things and having more interesting ideas, and that is sick. Like, that's a sick idea.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. If you ever get a chance to catch these guys live, man, the whole stage show is just, it's something else. It's something else to watch, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, they have like the scrubs on and stuff. And like you said, he's got the hazmat suit. They've got bandages on, everything, blood and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
So whose idea was it?
It was more like a collective idea, because like we all wanted to find our way, like you said, like our piece of cake to kind of stand out. Because in the music industry, it's hard to kind of like grab people's attention.
Yeah, you just be another one of those like metal bands where everyone's kind of wearing black band t-shirts.
Right, like there's a difference between being memorable and then being captivating. It's just like you want to have people leave with the reason to remember why you went there.
For sure.
You don't want them to be like, oh yeah, I went to a show the other weekend and then I went here. No, you'll be like, dude, I went to this show this weekend. Yeah. We're going next weekend.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you only really have like a limited amount of shows you can do. And if you want to expedite the process of like something happening, then you better make sure that those shows that you do, people remember.
Exactly.
Memorable, yeah.
It's like, what's the point otherwise, almost? Unless you just enjoy playing music. And I've definitely been in bands over the years where I just enjoy playing the music and it's kind of part of a scene, like a scene band, you know? But then if there's something I'm really taking seriously, you know, you just got to make sure it's pops and
yeah, it's like every performance you gotta take as if it was your last one. Like perform like it was like there's a million people in front of you. Everyone's cheering for you.
Yeah.
So like even if it's a small venue and there's 15 people in there that are just bobbing their heads, they're bobbing their head to you. So it's like at the end of the day, you're still playing the show.
Yeah.
And you often find that with younger bands as well because you haven't got to the point where, you know, some of us get to eventually where you start to get a little jaded with it, you know? Like you just kind of have this feeling of not that you don't want to put your all into it, but like when you first start out, you really feel like this is your push, your go, you know, like you're just ready for it.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, totally. And you know, and then sometimes that is your push, your go, and then sometimes it, you know, takes a few more times, more whatever. But I think that you're definitely onto with the right idea. Just go for it, man. And sick. How many tunes do you have out?
Right now, 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
5 out that you can stream. But of course, we have way more in the vault.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah.
Do you have like a plan of how you're releasing songs?
Yeah, so what we're kind of deciding on is that we were going to release single by single by single, and then eventually once people are more familiar with what we dropped, record more, and then put all those in together with 2 new singles. So everyone's already familiar with the other ones, and none of them gets de-appreciated. But they have 2 more to listen to, so they have a reason to go after. So it's not like, okay, we already heard these songs. Like, okay, we heard these songs, but I don't recognize these 2. Let me click them. You know, it's easier to have people click 2 than 5.
But it sounds like you agree with that whole thing that there's no point in just straight up releasing an album anymore. Like, you know, just no point.
Not at all.
Yeah, we did that almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. We did that.
We went into it with our eyes open, though. It's like we knew it was going to be like that. We still did it just we wanted it out.
Yeah, we still did it just because there was this whole there was a whole backstory on where we recorded and all that stuff. And sorry, it's my diabetes alarm telling me I'm dying. I had there was a whole backstory like where it got recorded and a whole trek to get it done and all that stuff. So we released it as one album, but you know, I mean, we knew going into it what it was, but in retrospect, like we released it and that was it. And then we had 10 songs on the album, so we had 10 opportunities to create social media buzz, and instead we did one big one, and that was it.
And then and then the band that Hector and I are in now, and also another band I'm in, we're just releasing single by single. Each song gets a great crack of the whip, you know, and you just get to you've always got content. That makes way more sense.
So who's doing your guys'? Well, 2 parts. Where are you guys recording, and who's doing all your social media and stuff when you guys are posting and everything?
We recorded mixed with Fernie from Shack North in Hialeah.
Yeah.
Super talented
Shout
guy.
out Fernie.
We love Fernie. Shout out Fernie.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Fernie?
We do our own promotion for the most part. We just we're in a group chat that we're talking in every day, and we have notes with millions and millions of paragraphs, and we're just there all day talking between each other like, okay, this is the plan for this week. This is the plan. This is what we're going to be doing, promo, or when we're going to be recording videos.
How old are you guys?
21.
Yeah.
21.
It's ready. That's it. It's right on the cusp of it.
Right.
That's sick.
Right.
I said, you just got to, just keep going.
Just do it.
Yeah. I think now would be a
100%.
good time to listen to some music. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right.
Your voice has no strength.
Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Road. And it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water. And it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like black light and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue. We can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in and it was a real success. Outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. So we just listened to an ad for Live Music Community. Could you tell us, give us a little bit of advice for upcoming musicians? I know you are upcoming musicians, but do you have any advice? And I think we should just go around and everyone kind of say their piece. Why don't we start here?
Yeah, man, if you want to pursue music, just do it. Don't be afraid. Just go for it and go at it. Go hard.
Yeah, good advice, mate. What about you, Vinny?
I would just say, stay consistent and be persistent about it. Work hard and it'll pay off eventually. You just got to think about it, breathe it, see it, feel it. Just envision yourself doing it.
Stay persistent, be consistent. It's good advice.
Manifest. Yeah.
No doubt about it, man. What about you, Laz?
Just do it with people are in it as much as you are. Do it with people you trust and love, that love you back. The only way you can do it was with real friendship and brotherhood,
Yeah, no doubt.
That's the only way it'll last.
Yeah, for sure, man. What about you, Sebastian?
Well, I agree with everyone, what they said. So I just want to say that, when you have those moments of weakness where you're like, damn, I don't want to practice. I'd rather do something more fun, like play video games. You should practice. You should just press that out of your mind completely blank and then be like, all right, practice. And just be a robot and practice skills, practice on tempo, all that.
That's great advice. So do you guys practice a lot? Why don't we go around again? Are you practicing your instrument a lot?
Yeah, almost every day,
Well
every chance
done.
that I get.
Well done. What about you, Vinny?
Yeah, every day. There isn't a second I'm not fidgeting on a table, on my pad, on anything.
Wicked. Les?
Yeah, doing vocals every day, writing music every day, picking up the guitar as much as I can.
Well done. And Sebastian, do you practice what you preach?
Yeah, I practice every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to be pretty lazy, but pretty recently I've been telling myself, all that, what I just said, stop
Well done.
distracting myself.
Yeah. I mean, so if you're out there and you're watching this and you're a young band, do what these lads are doing. Practice. That's how you get good, is by practicing. Everyone always goes on about like, oh, you must be really talented. No, you just practiced a lot. That's really all it is. You just got to practice a lot. It's the same for everyone. I mean, yeah, sure, there's some people it's going to come a tiny bit easier. Some people it's going to come a tiny bit harder. But if you put practice in, you will get better.
That's what I think is hilarious when people are like, "Oh, you're so talented," at anything, whether it's my art or the music or whatever. And I think the same thing. I'm like, anybody can do what I do if they put in the time. I mean, like it's not impossible. I mean, I would say there's maybe 1% of the population that's just mentally can't, they have a mental block or something about art or music or whatever. But I mean, the reality of it is just about anybody can do it if they just put in the time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's one of these things because I feel like a lot of people use it as an excuse.
Yeah,
because people come up to you and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I just don't have it in me." The thing that the talent is wanting to do it.
Sure.
That's the talent. If you just got to want to do it. It's as simple as that.
Laz, you mentioned when you practice, you're writing lyrics and things like that. So do you guys have a writing process? Does any one person in particular come to the table with stuff, or do you guys all kind of get together and collaborate, or how's that all work for you guys?
I usually just bring whatever riff I record from practice onto like the group chat, and they just listen to it. We go, okay, this is something that we could go with, something that sounds good. And then we take it to the next meet, we play it, and we just go on from there.
It could be a baby little idea that we start with, like 2 notes.
That's how it works.
It's been like that. It's been 2 notes, and we'll just ride with it in meets. And within a week, it'll be something beautiful, something brand new.
Come to the table and say, we're going to write something in A.
So do you have a situation where you can kind of add to a folder in terms of like build a tune up as a demo, like because you've been talking a lot about like using like apps to communicate with each other. Do you ever like record stuff and then post it back up for other people to hear and that kind of thing?
All the time.
Yeah, like for each other to hear, definitely, because we want to be able to be like, okay, what is something we can cook on next meet?
Yeah,
let me just send a quick riff, or I'll send in like. Because on the side, like, since I'm a drummer, I can't really send in my drummer. Then be like, guys, we should do something with this. It just sounds like...
Right.
So, like, sometimes I'll think of, like, a random riff in my head, and I'll have, like, a voice memo. I'll be like, guys... Or, like, just something,
Nothing gets you going like that, but like a good guitar or bass riff.
Yeah.
So how are you guys, like, are you guys doing the same thing? Are you using, like, voice memos and just sending it back and forth like that?
Yeah, we use our phones. We use voice memos, and we just send it out on messages.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's something that I've been thinking of. In the past, in my professional life, I've done some mixing for like a company that basically just needed like 1 million mixes. And they had this great app where you could put the tune in at different points in the song. You could put notes in, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that would be something great for like all the bands I'm in to have. It's just like, instead of just doing the text chain, have a dedicated app where, we're actually talking about stuff together. I think, obviously it's just another thing you have to check, but it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that song we listened to is called 150. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
That song is about, I tell the story about like 80% of the time before I play it. One time I was at a venue called Sandbox, where you guys know Sandbar.
Yeah.
So yeah, Young Fictions played there for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys know NGY?
No,
It's another local band, and they have moshy songs, but at that moment it wasn't very moshy. It was like, imagine like a Hendrixy solo.
Sure.
Gotcha. Like hard
Imagine
rock.
moshing to a Hendrix solo. Like,
okay.
It'll be kind of hard. But I was just there jamming, and some guy pushes 3 people and then elbows me at the end.
Right.
And it hurt, bro. And I'm there mad. I start moshing back, trying to get back at him. And then like I touch my face, and I touched the muscle inside my face. Like this much of my fingers went into my face. And I kept going back. I didn't know that like it was that bad at the moment, even though I touched my muscle. So I kept going for like trying to hit the guy back, moshing low key. So the owner of the place comes and like pulls me off. And I think it's another person moshing, and I push the owner. And I look for this guy, and I'm looking up to him like he's like a foot taller than me, some bald guy, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna whoop your ass right now. Like, I'm gonna punch you. And he's like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, what can I do? I'll cash app you. And he ended up cash apping me $150.
Right.
And that's where we got the song from. We're like, we have to make a song out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. That's interesting. It's funny that there is a number on like wounding you in the face.
Yeah. Insurance, bro, $150. Just stitch me up with insurance. I'm good. I left with the 150.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty like grown up and mature way of dealing with that situation. Yeah. So what have you guys got coming up? Is there anything that we should know about happening with the band?
So of course we have some shows getting cooked up in the behind the scenes. We're trying to connect with different venues,
Music
see what
videos.
Yeah, we're also in the process of trying to record music videos because we just as you guys know, we released a few singles recently, so we're trying to get music videos for those, and we're actually releasing a Drop the Needle video.
Nice.
Very soon. It is coming out.
Checking right now.
It's coming out
June 28th.
June 28th.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's the one of 3, and we're trying to get more of that, trying to get more studio time to record the next set of songs. And
More lore. Every once in a while, we record like an episode of our story of like who the characters and the costumes are, and we have
Dude,
like
I love this.
we build up other characters, and we have like every little conflicts going on, something to keep up with, something like extra for people to be keeping up with,
Yeah,
So
I think these days you need stuff like that. Keep people
So
interested.
Justin, our producer and good friend, and the guy who owns the studio, he's the one that's in the booth there running all the controls right now.
The smoking hot man behind the boards.
The smoking hot man behind the boards. The one making us look good and sound good.
Thanks, bro.
Him and I are in another band called Euphoria, and we're in the process of working on. We're recording. Actually, we did some more vocal stuff today. We're recording this concept album that he wrote a while back, and then we've just been tweaking it and doing some other stuff with it. And the whole album is a story. So when we get ready to release the songs, we want to release it with videos so that the videos kind of tell a story. But it's a lot like what you're talking about with the lore and stuff. There's this whole like concept. It's not just us playing music and and that's it. Like there's a whole story. So
Yeah.
So we've talked about a few times, and we've done a couple things here and there for a few shows, but we really haven't driven it home and really haven't found that groove yet of like you guys have kind of found that story and found your look and found your feel and whatever. And so you guys kind of do that every time now. We haven't really quite gotten there. Like there's a few shows here and there where we've done a little bit of this or a little bit of that.
Starting with the screen is just inspired.
Yeah. So, but we've talked about that a lot of times about doing something like that. It was very theatrical on a screen and all that. So
Right.
yeah, man. So like hearing all this, you guys doing this stuff is like very inspiring. Like I want to like go home and like do a video.
That show he actually mentioned about doing like the whole act before like coming in.
Yeah.
That show is actually called Asylum. We usually do that one annually, always at the
Nice.
end of the year, like around Christmas time, to like have like the end of the year bang, end of the year show.
Mhm.
And the first time we did it, it popped off,
Sick.
infinite people. And then the second time we did it, infinite people again. It was just like, okay,
Whoa.
so
Passing out gowns.
Yeah,
We're giving gowns to everybody.
I feel like when I saw you guys at Revolutions, you correct me if I'm wrong, but like they pushed you out in a wheelchair or something
Yeah.
for that one. Yeah. And the impression that I got from it and like the feeling I got from the story was just like, it was like a mental thing, and they just kind of brainwashed you into being the singer of this band kind of thing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's really cool. Years ago, I was in a band that had a video that we had made to go along with the music, and that was cool. But doing it like you were saying with breaking the fourth wall and having it live and doing it right then, that's smart.
it unlocks a lot of stuff, bro. Like, I feel like putting yourself into a character, not only does stuff like that write itself, like it's a little fire of creativity that ignites into a whole big thing, but I never get bored of it because it's an alter ego. I'm not myself when I'm up there. I know it's especially me, Brian, like these guys get to use their own faces, but when we put down those masks, it really separates me from myself and lets me unlock my full creativity aspect.
That's super cool. What have we what have we got coming up? We're going to Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, by the time people are hearing this, we're going to be in Minnesota.
Yeah,
we're flying out tomorrow morning.
Oh,
we're taking a limo down to Miami.
Yeah,
really fun.
Yeah, so we left all our gear and we drove out to Minnesota 2 weeks ago. We left all our gear. We played those shows. We did the chalk thing. We left our van and our gear there. We flew back. We played a bunch of shows here with our B gear, our backup gear. If you will.
Just other gear. I mean, to be honest with you,
we just kind of hobbled it all together
to pull it off. It was a different sound, and I tell you what, I didn't mind it.
No, it was fine. It was fine. We made it through, and then and so now we're flying back. We're picking up the van. We're picking up the gear. We're driving about 100 miles from where the van's at. We're playing some more shows. We're doing some more chalk art. And then come Monday, you're gonna fly back, and so you can do your lessons. And then James and I are gonna trek across America and make our way back.
I'm a little jealous, but we've got to keep the.
Don't be jealous. James will get me arrested, and then you're gonna be glad you were here.
No, it's gonna be cool, man. The whole thing is a lot of fun. Glad to be getting out of Dodge. We're going to England in October. We got some adventures.
England in October, North Carolina. Not North Carolina, Georgia in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we got a bunch of fun stuff coming.
Yeah, Killbillies is on the road.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Exciting stuff.
Doing some fun stuff, man.
And then I've got a single's going to be coming out pretty soon. Stay tuned for that. Step by Step by Nina's Yard Party.
Yard Party.
And if you're interested, so Ricky Belief has just started doing books. He if you go to Ricky Writes Books on Instagram, he's just released his first one, so you should check that out. It's really cool, really awesome. And we've been Keith and I have been trying to book some shows. So, if you're a punk band and you're looking for, or a ska band or that nature, and you're looking to play some shows, get in touch with me or with Keith or with Hector or really with any of us.
Yeah.
And we'll we see what
you guys up. Yeah. And I was joking around at the beginning of the show about, we had Kim on here and we, pilfered you guys from Kim or whatever, but we love Kim. We had her on the show and it was a long time coming. We should have had her on the show a long time prior to that, but I love everything she's doing down there. It's very similar to a lot of things we're doing up here, and we kind of launched pretty close to each other. I think within a few months of each other, we launched our shows. Yeah, giving Kim a shout out with the shirt there, the Up Next Festival shirt.
Shout out.
But we
lovely lady, but really enjoyed meeting.
Yeah, but I love, this started out as 561 Music. It's really become South Florida in general. Same with hers. Hers was, her stuff was all down south. It's kind of become South Florida. I mean, I think she's doing a propaganda show here in the not too distant future,
cool.
Which is up here in Lake Worth. And so I love that the whole South Florida scene is all coming together. We're starting to work with Kim. We're going to be doing some more shows and things with Kim, because we put on, just like Kim does the Up Next festivals and she does all these little things, she does a bunch of shows. When I say little things, I mean, she does a lot of smaller shows and then she does her bigger shows, her festivals and stuff, as well as some crazy awesome stuff out in the Viper Room and things like that out in LA. But
busy lady.
Yeah, but we do a lot of the same thing. We work with a bunch of different local venues. We have friends of ours like Ricky and stuff that put together shows and things, and we do a lot of shows in this area and stuff. And then once a year we put a whole festival together, and it's 2 stages and 20 bands and food trucks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So man. So I'm really looking forward to doing some more stuff with Kim. I'm so glad we were able to get you guys on here. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but there's like a whole bunch of untapped bands down by you guys that I love.
And it's refreshing to see people taking it seriously, and coming with some great fresh ideas and just like, hitting it hard. So keep it up, lads.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate having you guys on here and everything. So
thanks for having us. It was fun. This is cool.
Man. Awesome.
This is
Peace out.
Take a better scene. It's what we're doing. Come and check it out.